Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Infinity Workforce Solutions webinar today. This one's actually coming from our Client Success Department, and today we're going to talk about ELDT for student transportation, or entry-level driver training for your school bus drivers or those that you're assisting and helping them get a CDL. I think you'll find some good information about the ELDT program. It's interesting to me that this went into effect in February 7th of 2022. So we're coming up on about 3 years that this program has been put in place by the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. And simply it means that if you're going to try to pursue a Class B license, which is necessary for a school bus, you have to go through the entry-level driver training protocol. And there are two parts to that. One is theory portion, and the other is the behind the wheel portion. And what we offer through Infinity is the theory portion. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We recorded this presentation a few days ago because we had some personnel that weren't going to be able to be available today. But we do have a couple of our veteran client success reps that are online. Phil Lewis and Amy Bryant have joined us. They're going to be here to answer any questions should you have those. So a few housekeeping items before we start this replay of the presentation is all of those of you that are logged in are muted, which means we can't hear you. So you do have the ability with the system. There's a chat box at the bottom in the tray, or maybe at the top, depending on how you have your screen set up, where you can type in a question if you have one. There's also a Q&A box if you want to use that. So that's how you can communicate with us. As a matter of fact, why don't you just go ahead and jump in the chat, let us know who you are, where you are, and what school district you're from, because we like to know who's out there in our audience today. But once again, thank you all very much for joining us, and we hope that you'll get some valuable information today. So while y'all are doing that, I'm going to go ahead and start the video that we recorded the other day, and we'll let this play through, and then we'll take any questions that y'all might have put into the chat or into Q&A. So here we go.
Good morning. Thank you all for joining us today for our ELDT for students transportation. We are so happy to have you, and we hope that the information provided today is very useful and helpful for you as you approach onboarding and getting drivers their CDLs. So what we're going to do is quickly go over our agenda today. We're going to do some introductions. We're going to talk about what is ELDT theory. Why should you use the Infinity platform to complete your ELDT theory portion? Then there's going to be a demonstration of how we here at Infinity can make your theory training easier. We'll look at some required information for transmitting your training data, our reporting system, and then we'll take some questions and answers. So my name's Chuck Price. I'm the Director of Client Success. I have been with Infinity for right about 3 years. I started with the company in the sales department and eventually moved over to the service side of things, and I have loved every minute of it. I am also a huge Philadelphia Eagles fan, so go Birds. It's been an amazing football season, and I can't ask for anything more. And I'm joined today by one of our great veteran CSRs today, Philip Lewis. Phil, tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Phil Lewis, and I've also been here for about 3 years as well. Started in April 2022. I'm also a big Eagles fan. This has been a great year for us as well. Also big Arkansas Razorbacks fan. I'm my alma mater from the school. So Woo Pig Sooie. Pretty excited about this. Yeah, ready to get this started.
All righty. So we're going to go ahead and get things kicked off. So what is the ELDT theory? The entry-level driver training, the ELDT regulations set the minimum requirements for the training that entry-level drivers must complete before being permitted to take certain commercial driver's license skills or knowledge tests. There are 5 areas that are standard in the curriculum that we will cover today. That's your basic operation, safe operating procedures, advanced practices, vehicle systems and reporting malfunctions, and non-driving activities. Now, why would you choose Infinity to complete your theory training? Our learning model is proven. It's we get a lot of good feedback on how people retain the information that they're taking through the platform, not only just for ELDT theory, but also just our standard catalog curriculum. Our model is designed to enhance your understanding and retention of the information. Our model, it delivers a short, concise version of our content, followed by a quiz to drive behavioral change and also improve that information retention. We also are a registered provider for the theory training that is required. We provide the Class A, the B, and all the endorsements that go along with P, S, and H endorsements.
All right.
So I went a little too fast, so forgive me. Phil's going to jump in and actually show you how easy it is to actually set up that training with Infinity. So Phil, you can take it away.
All right, guys. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm going to transition here into our portal. So all right, guys. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna set up a sample class B assignment for a couple of reasons. I'm actually probably going to set up a passenger endorsement assignment as well, but I want to do this for a couple of reasons. I actually want to do this to show the ease of use of setting up these assignments. So let me go ahead and get that started here. So we set up our assignments here by clicking on new assignment. So let me go ahead and get that started here. And we do this by choosing this through our templates. So let me go ahead and select our drop down here. And we see here, we have our options here. So we have our option of choosing our Class A, our Class B, our H endorsement, which is our hazmat, or passenger endorsement, or our school bus. So I'm going to choose our Class B. And as you see, the moment I chose this, some things um, automatically occurred here. So our passing grade automatically changed from 100% to 80%. The reason for that being is that is the minimum required score needed. So that is something that is automatically preset into our templates. That is something that you guys don't have to do. You don't have to go in and alter the passing grades on these tests. That is automatically set into our system. The assignment types is automatically set. Your assignment options is automatically set. You don't have to touch any of these things here. Only thing you have to do is come in here and put the person or put the user, the driver, whoever it is that you need to assign to this assignment. And for this example, I'm assigning myself. So go ahead and put my name in here. And I'm just going to choose some arbitrary dates. I'm going to choose today, and I'm going to choose next week. So once we have everything filled out on the first page, we want to go ahead and move on over to the next part. And we'll see here we have 5 parts to setting up an assignment. And we see here in part 2, normally this is where we select our videos. But as you see here, our videos are already here. This is another part. This is another add-on to choosing our ELDT assignments through using our templates. Our videos are already here. We don't have to do anything here. All we have to do is move on over to part 3. So this is the part where we add who we need to take this assignment. So since I'm assigning this to myself, I'm choosing myself. So since we're just adding a user, I'm gonna select this drop down here, and I'm just gonna type in my name. Whoever it is that you're assigning to this assignment, you'll type in their name here and select their user right here. Just click their name here, and you want to make sure their name pops up over here to the right side to make sure that they're selected for this assignment. Once you see their name over here, move on over here to part 4 and set up your notifications. And this is how that user will be notified of this assignment. So this new user notification is sends out about maybe 45 minutes after this assignment is published, which is basically you making this assignment live, sending this assignment to this user's classroom. This overdue assignment, this is just another touch point. It's another notification. So let's say if this user hasn't finished this assignment 7 days after the due dates, they'll get another notification, let them know, hey, get back in your classroom and finish this assignment. This reminder notification, this is going to send out 7 days before the end dates of the assignment, letting them know, hey, get in here, finish this assignment. We can also set up notifications for the admins. So if you as administrators want to know when your drivers are finished with these assignments, we can set up a complete notification here, and this will send you a notification letting you know when your drivers complete these assignments. You can also set up a notification letting you know when they're running overdue. You can also set up a notification letting you know when this assignment is sent to your drivers as well. For this example, I'm just setting this up again. I just want to make sure that I just want to just set this up and just show you guys the ease of use here. So again, once we selected the assignment here from our template, we don't have to do anything here in part 2. All of our videos are already here. We select our user here in part 3. We set up our notifications here in part 4. Part 5 is just our certificate preview. Once we have all this set up, we come up here at the top right, we hit publish. And now we see here our assignment status is showing active. We hit our back button right here, over here to the left. And there is our Class B ELDT assignment right here, showing active status right here, letting us know that this assignment is sitting in my classroom. And to just further drive home the point, I can set up another passenger endorsement assignment here. And this one's probably going to be a little quicker. I wanted to kind of take my time with that first assignment, just kind of showing the ease of use again, just kind of showing the ease of use of setting these assignments up. And again, I'm just going to pick some arbitrary dates here. So again, once we have everything set up on part 1, we want to hit next, transition over to our next part. Again, here's our videos. You notice the number of videos here are different. The number of videos we have for our Class B were 62 videos. We got 19 here for our passenger endorsement. If this was our school bus endorsement, this would be 17. So there are different number of videos depending on the ELDT assignment that is assigned out. Everything else is pretty much the same. So we setting up, all we're doing here is adding our user here in part 3. Setting up our notifications. If I wanted to set up notifications for our admins, I could. Part 5 is just our certificate preview. All we have to do is come up here, hit publish. We see our assignment is active. Go back into our assignments, our list of assignments here. And there's our passenger endorsement assignment as well. So now what I want to do here is go back into our slides. So let me step out of the portal here. And let me go back into our slides. Bear with me for a second, folks. Let me get back into our slides. How do we get back into our slides? Ooh, how do we get back into our slides?
I can hop back into them, Phil. Give me 1 second here and I'll jump back into the slides.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No worries.
All right. All right. So just want to kind of just get back into our slides briefly for a second. So I do, after I go over this slide here, I do want to go back into our portal, because I do believe that would drive home the point of me going over this slide here a lot better. So the required information for transmission here, the information that we must have for transmission to TPR, which is the training registered provider, we must have first and last name. This information must be correct. And from my experience working with the schools that I've worked with, the best way to get this information and make sure this information is accurate is to literally get the license and look at the license as you're entering this information into the site. So we want to make sure that we have accurate first and last name. We want to make sure the date of birth is accurate. We want to make sure that the license state, the license number is accurate. Is the license number is one of the main things that's often incorrect because transposing of the numbers, um, along with the license expiration dates. And one of the big things in our site, and this is because we have different types of license types in our site. And this is the reason why I want to jump back into our portal. One of the big things here is we want to make sure that we're choosing the correct license here. We want to make sure that we're using the CDL with state license type.
I'll let you get back in here.
All right. So let me transition back over here into our portal. So let me go over to our user management here, and I'm gonna pull up my profile. Okay. So again, we want to make sure our first and last name is accurate. We want to make sure we have our date of birth in here. We want to make sure that this is accurate. We want to make sure that our license information in here is accurate. We want to make sure that we're using the correct license type. So we want to make sure that we're using this CDO with state license type in here. This is very important. This is critical. This is the license type that we use here at Infinity to transmit your license information over to TPR. This is the license type as well. This is the only license type that is going to have all 5 of these pieces of information. So this is also another thing that's going to let you know that you're using the correct license type for ELDT training. So this is the only license type that's going to have the license number, that's going to have the expiration date, that's going to have the state, the classification, along with whether or not that driver has any current endorsements. And there's only 3 options in here. So whether or not that driver currently has a passenger endorsement, a school bus endorsement, a hazmat endorsement. So I wanted to go back over into the portal and show this part to kind of help drive home that part of the slide. So I feel like that part is pretty important, um, especially from my experience and working with schools. So, all right, let me go back over to our slides and go back, go into our ELDT detail reports, because this will be the thing that we'll actually use to let you guys know if there's any information missing or not. So this is the report that we as CSR use to look at records to see if there's any information that's missing. So for example, we can look right here, we can see we of course we got some information that's redacted. So we can see here that this first entry, this person Damien here, he has his date of birth, but he's missing his license states, missing his license number, license type. Same thing with Jose. Patrick is missing the date of birth, missing his license, so on and so forth. So our ELDT detail report, this is the report that we use to um enlighten us on exactly what is missing in regards to what's missing in the user's profiles.
And I like to add on, Phil, that this report is checked by us every morning as a department. Without us even having to pull it, we automatically review these and try to get ahead of any missing data, just to make sure that you have a smooth transition through the transmission portion of the ELDT training. So I just wanted to interject that, Phil.
Absolutely, absolutely. In our ELDT exception report, um, sorry about that. Our ELDT exception report, this is our last report here on the list. So this report lets you know here what's been transmitted and what has not been transmitted here. So we can see down here our guy by the name of Football. We can see here that his records down here has been transmitted here.
And this is the
Outside.
technical report. Sorry to interject again, Phil. These are all housed in our system that you can pull yourself. Recommendation for the exception report is that if you want to get ahead of anything that could potentially not have a transmission, that you can review this report regularly just to see what's missing data for your drivers out there. Just want to throw that in there as well, because these are all readily available with filters within the platform.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. So we have our best practices before heading to the DMV. You want to definitely check your records, as we stated on the ELDT exception report. Spelling of your name, correct date of birth, correct license. If you need records with Infinity that if they require correction, please reach out to us. After your Infinity data is transmitted and there's any corrections that need to be performed, your CSR can manually get that adjusted and taken care of for you. Again, we try to stay proactive with this and get those corrections made earlier. In the morning we get that report, we'll be reaching out saying, hey, we need some additional information. But if you happen to see something before we get to it, you can definitely reach out to us. Check your records, both theory and behind the wheel. Each license type and endorsement requires respective theory and behind the wheel training. If the behind the wheel is missing for a license type of endorsement, it may flag the entire section as incomplete. So make sure that you're checking both of those. And these are just the best recommended practices that you should use when going through the process of getting this training completed. And that concludes our presentation. We really want to thank you today for joining us. And before you leave, we would like to offer you a 30-day trial. Try us out for free for 30 days. This is a different trial experience. This is a fully supported experience. You're going to get the treatment and the experience of a current client. You're going to have weekly touch points throughout that trial as you're utilizing the platform and getting familiar with how to navigate and set up trainings. We are also offering one ELDT license. It's $197 value for you to take someone through the full process of going through the theory training with us. And then we'd like you to explore our full school catalog with topics such as student transportation safety, drug and alcohol training, bullying and suicide prevention, and many more topics that are out there. You can contact us at our website at infinityworkforce.com. Again, we want to say thank you for joining us, and please take advantage of this opportunity to really get familiar with our platform. If anything, utilize the one ELDT license to really get a feel for how we go through that process of setting up ELDT training and getting your drivers taken care of. With that being said, you all have a great day, and we'll see you next time.
All right. I think that was pretty good bunch of information there, folks.
Good morning. Thank you all for joining us today.
We don't need to run it again. There's a couple of questions here. So Phil, Amy, there was a question here, and it looks like Lydia may have already responded to it about how is the TPR listed? Who's shown as the training provider? Is it Infinity or is it the school in this case?
It's going to show as Vertical Alliance Group.
That's correct. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you for that. Somebody's asking if this has been recorded, and of course it has been. One of the things that I wanted to mention before everybody, before we wrap this up today is, this ELDT program has been out there for quite a while now. But I think this online version that we've been providing since the very beginning allows your potential school bus drivers to complete this theory portion of training fairly quickly because it's all online. The person can go at their own pace. Amy, what would you say typically, how many hours would it take someone to complete the let's just say the Class B, which I think is 62 videos?
The Class B is typically going to take, give me 1 second here. We do have the times allotted in the templates. I'm just going to look that up real quick to make sure I'm providing correct information. I believe it takes, rather than the 20 hours, it's closer to maybe 15, 12, somewhere in that area.
Yeah, I've heard, people have been able to complete it in 10 to 12 hours.
Yes.
Just to give a comparison, I've become aware of several schools out there that are providing the theory portion by sending their potential drivers to an in-person training event. And generally, from what I understand, is that takes nearly a 40-hour week. In other words, 8 hours a day for about 5 days to complete that content. So as I come to understand, there's often a lot of urgency in getting somebody together to get a CDL and get their endorsements to be a school bus driver for your school. So this may be a way to do it a little bit faster. And I think obviously it's an inexpensive way to do it. Your potential bus drivers out there can take the classes and watch the videos from their smartphone. All they need is an internet connection. They can do it when it's convenient for them. So I think this is a great way to accomplish your theory portion of your entry-level driver training. And, it should help you fill those empty driver positions as quickly as possible. So having said that, let's see if there are any other questions here. Looks like a couple of folks have asked about getting a replay link. We'll absolutely send that link out to everybody. And don't see any other questions coming in. Thank you all for answering the poll questions. And with that being said, thank you all for joining us today. Appreciate your time. And we'll look forward to seeing you all on a webinar in the future. So thank you all for joining us. Amy, Phil, thank you.
Absolutely.
And we will see everybody on the next webinar.
All right. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.
Great day.
Bye.